Yeah. I'm in a musical.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a special one. It shows my patriotism to Nigeria. But before I go into the video, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that if you watched my previous video where I talked about personal finance and how I saved my first $20,000 in Canada, the figures I put out there, how much hypothetical figures, like how much the individual earns, the individual spends, the individual saves, are hypothetical figures. I didn't come out and say I earn $3,000 a month, because I do earn more than $3,000 a month. So I didn't come out and say my expenses is $1,500 a month, because my expenses are more than $1,500 a month. I have a mortgage, for Christ's sake. I never said I save $1,000 a month. Sometimes I could save more, sometimes I could save less. So those figures I put in those videos are hypothetical figures, but yes, these are practical steps I took to save my first $20,000, right? And I know fully well that not everyone, those videos are not meant for everyone. I never said everyone should live their lives the way I live my life. I'm just putting my own version, out there, because I know there are various versions of saving habits out there. And this series basically is just to enlighten people. You can take it, you can leave it. I'm a minimalist. I am someone who likes to prioritize it, likes to spend on things I put priority on. So if I don't put priority of designer bags, I am not shading anyone that puts priority on designer bags. You see all this flamboyant lifestyle, I love it. I love it for them. Like when I see all this lavish wedding, I like to watch them. I like it for them. But that doesn't mean I want to have that kind of lifestyle. That doesn't mean that I want to find myself, if I wasn't married, if I'm getting married, I would now break the bank because I want to get married. My wedding was very simplistic. Anybody who was at my wedding could attest that it was classy, but it was very, very simple. It wasn't, over the top. All the things I used, all my dress from head to toe, I shopped them. I went to a bar and I shopped my clothes myself, to tell you how minimalistic I am. I have a video about how I prepped for my wedding. In one of my earliest videos, just scroll down. If you're interested in watching things like that, just scroll down. You see how I prepped for my video. It was very, very simple. But anyways, why I'm putting this disclaimer out was because I received an email, and I don't want to sound like I am deceiving anyone. The email was like a backhanded compliment. It started with, "Oh, I love what you do. I love how you're realistic. I know the person is a subscriber, so I'm not trying to shade the person, but I just want to clear out the air. I love what you do. You're very good in sharing your life. However, the last video you made, I feel like it's hypocritical that you earn $3,000, which is about 3 million naira, and you say you're a minimalist, blah blah blah. So many back and forth. I read the whole email to understand where this person is coming from. I feel like this person doesn't understand me. This person seems to have been following me or subscribed to this channel for a while, but still doesn't understand my personality type and how I view my finances. So yes, I have a mortgage, yes, I have a car, but that doesn't mean I'm not a frugal spender. I haven't been to a salon here in Canada. When I was in Nigeria, I used to go to salons like 2 weeks to make my hair. I used to be on braids, I used to buy wigs. I used to go to the salon about 2 or 3 weeks to make my hair every single time. The only DIY hair I did in Nigeria was all back, and I would definitely cover it with a braid. And when it's even cheap, I can pay someone 200 naira to make all back for me. So I would easily just go to the salon, wash my hair. I never even used to wash my hair myself when I was in Lagos, but when I was in the East, I used to wash my hair myself. Then I would just go to the salon to make my hair. When I came to Canada, that's when I started really doing DIY. So I'm not telling anyone in Nigeria, don't go and make your hair in the salon. So this is case by case. I never for once told anybody in Nigeria, you have to make your hair yourself. No, I don't even think I've even spoken about my hair like that in this channel. The only time I did a rant about my hair was as I cut my hair. It's not coiling the way I want to. So my lifestyle is based on my situation right now. I've always been a minimalist even right from growing up, but right now there are some things that I have to change and adjust because I'm in a different climate, right? I can't be having my hair braided for over $400. I know how much that costs out of my salary, so I cannot be doing that. That's why I have to make my hair myself. Spend some time and bear the hurt in my arm and do the hair myself, right? So it's on a case-by-case basis, honestly. And the videos I put out there is not for everyone. There'll be one person who appreciates the video. There'll be one person who would, you know, be willing to checkmate themselves and see, okay, what are my excesses and what are the things I need to reduce and curb just to ensure that I'm saving better and to ensure I have a better future. Some of the things I do basically is not even because of the now, right? I might be comfortable now, but what's going to happen in 10 years? God forbid, am I going to be laid off from my job? God forbid, am I going to still be in Canada? Will I be deported back to Nigeria? So a lot of these things I do is not even because of the now. Now it's also for my future, my retirement. A lot of people don't think about their retirement, which is sad. Because when you're old and gray, you don't want to be working. I see some people in their 60s, in their 50s, in my establishment. I'm like, bro, you should be resting. You know. So I don't want to be in that category. I actually want to save, invest, so that I'm able to retire early and chill. So those figures I put in that video are not my actual earnings. The only time I actually give my earnings is when I've left the job. I will not come out here and tell you how much I'm currently earning, right? I'll give you a range of how much my expenses are. I will not even come out here and tell you that this is how much I have. This is my net worth. No, I'm not stupid. I wouldn't do that. So that's just a disclaimer for that video. So brother, I know it's the man that sent me that video. So brother, I think you took that video out of context. I'm not in any way telling people how to live their lives. I'm just here sharing my experience. But anyway, I think we spent over 6 minutes talking about this thing. So let's get right into today's video. It's very short. Basically, I still save money in Naira. I invest money in Naira. And I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you where I put those funds. Now, the reason I invest in Naira is because of exchange rates. I try to buy Naira, especially when the rate is high. If I see that if I'm going to get a good return, I try to change as much as I can and buy Naira. 1. Then 2, because I have family and friends in Nigeria, I'm not someone who can be easily accessible because I work, you know. So not every time I'll start changing money. Every single time I need to send money to Nigeria, I have to start changing money. No. So I try to change as much as I can when I have the funds, and I invest that funds. And I also change it to help me manage black tax, basically. If you haven't heard about black tax, go and watch my previous videos. So where do I put this money? Do I just put it in my GT account or my Stanbic account or my this account or my that account? No, I don't. I barely even have money in my bank account, you know, except when I need to make a purchase and I have to change funds. But I try to put this money in money markets. I know I've talked about money market a lot, and a lot of people like, Stella, we've heard about this money market countless times, but you've heard about it, but what are you doing with that information? You're abroad, you send money back to your parents, back to your siblings, back to your cousins, back to your friends, and you're changing your money, your Canadian dollars, every single time you do that. Do you know that the minimum I think I've seen of money markets this year is about either 18 or 19%? Yes. So imagine if you put 20 million. Just imagine if you put 20 million Naira in money markets at the rate of 20%. You're getting about, I think, 4 million Naira. Yes, you're getting about 4 million Naira in a year. You know, so if you have responsibilities in Nigeria, or even if you have a business, you know, I feel like you should invest in money markets. Aside from even money markets, we have the treasury bills. Now, the treasury bill rate was not good, but I think it has kind of come up right now. And there's the short-term one and the long-term one. Why money market is the go-to for me is because there's no fixed tenor. Like, you just put your money there, and at least you leave it for the first 30 days. Then subsequently, you can withdraw any amount you want. You can withdraw you can decide to withdraw your interest. You can decide to withdraw your principal. You can withdraw any amount you want, and the interest rate is great. Now, especially if you have like monthly obligations. I know some people here in Canada that pay school fees for people in Nigeria. Like, you're paying fees for someone in Nigeria, you know. So if you want to, you can actually just use the interest on your money to pay those fees. You can just use the interest on the money you invest to pay those fees for people. So people are paying rent for people in Nigeria. So you can use fees from, imagine if you put 20 million in. I'm not saying go and put 20 million. I'm just assuming, you know, before someone send me email now. So assuming you have 20 million in there and you get 4 million in a year. You've paid someone's rent. You've done someone's groceries. you've put somebody in school, you know, things like that. There are benefits to it. I think about 3 weeks ago, the Dangote put up commercial papers for 25%. I think that was the index rate, and the minimum amount to subscribe was 10 million naira. I didn't have 10 million naira, else I would have subscribed, I tell you, and it's just for 1 year, and it's 25%. Aside from that, and the reason I even did this video was because of the conversation I had with my sister-in-law. We're talking about investing in businesses and the return on investment on those businesses, and we're brainstorming on businesses that I can actually invest in, things like that. So that commercial paper would have been a great one for me, but I just did not have 10 million naira to tie down for a whole year. So yes, I would like you guys in the diaspora. Now, this is not only for people in the diaspora. If you're in Nigeria as well and you're earning money, you know, exchange rate is not a problem for you because you are spending naira. So if you're earning naira and you have money and it's just sitting in your account, please go and invest in money market. It's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to cost you anything. I also invested in equity income. Equity income is one that is good as well, but it's high risk. It's high risk in the sense that you might lose your principal, but it's better for people who have interest to do things for long term. I remember when I bought it early this year, it was negative 3%, I believe. It was negative 3%, and it went up to 15%, and I was very happy when it went up to 50% because my money was over double. The money I put there was over double, but it began to drop, and it dropped to about 12%, and I panicked. You know, I panicked and I withdrew my money. But guess where it is right now? Okay, sometime last 2 months, I think it went up to 30%. Imagine if I've let that money there. It went up to 30%, but now I think it's currently at either 20 or 20 something percent. So equity income is one that is also good. It's I think they invest in stock, shares, and some other things anyways. But yeah, if you don't have high risk tolerance, don't do equity, because when I saw it dropping, my heart was already beating, you know. But I bought it when it was negative 3%, and I sold it when it was about, I think, 12%. That's when I sold it, and I made a lot of money from it. I wouldn't lie, I did make money from it, you know. So imagine if I left it when it was 30%. Like, I won't be here with you guys. I would have been in a beach. But it wasn't a lot of money too, because I don't like to put a lot of money in high risk investment like that might, you know, that might tank. But I know that there's hypertension in my family. I don't want to get that hypertension. I don't want to get hypertension, I beg. So let me just do the small one I can do. But anyways, yeah, if you have responsibilities in Nigeria, please, you should do those kind of investments. They are they come in very handy, honestly. Sometimes when demands come in left, right, and center, and I look here, and I don't have any Canadian money to send, I just withdraw from the money market because I have some fixed income there that generates interest for me. You know, sometimes you check, honestly, there's no money for you to change. People will think that, oh, you don't want to send me them money. There is no money for you to change because everywhere I've shook. When I check left, check right in Canada, and I see that everywhere I've shook, I remember that I have money market there, and I just withdraw. That's the best thing about money market. You can withdraw at any time. And if you withdraw before 10 a.m., you get your money instantly. You get your money same day. But if you withdraw before 10 p.m., if you request to liquidate after 10 p.m., you get your money the next day. So if you haven't thought about it, think about it. Except you've closed all ties in Nigeria, that you don't have anybody you're sending money to, you know, and things like that. I cannot speak for any African country because I'm from Nigeria and I can only talk about Nigeria. So yeah. In case you're wondering how I manage black tax, that is how I manage black tax. Pardon my first rant. I really don't like to rant, but I don't think it was a rant. It's just me just saying, clarifying the air so that people are not, people don't misunderstand my videos. And I know that even after this clarification, there will still be people that will misunderstand the videos because we are humans and things happen. But yeah, I'm gonna head on out back to the house. Today is Saturday and I came to work. My office is just behind me, and I said let me do this video before I kickstart my day. All right, thank you so much for tuning in with me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. And please engage. It's not only to watch the videos and share the videos. Engage in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. If you're a Nigerian in diaspora and there are other investments you do, please share them in the comments. I like people to actually share so that people can learn. If you have questions regards the money market, I am very, very, very much open to, you know, responding to your questions. It is no risk. Your principal is not getting missing. Your principal is guaranteed. The only one that I know that you might lose principal is your equity income. So if you want just safe investments, do money markets, you know. or treasury bills. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I gotta go. See you next one.